Hi, MangaPod Book Club. How are you?
So good.
Yay! Yoker, I told him Yay! Hello, pretty people! Welcome to the MangaPod Book Club. How are my lovely co-hosts tonight?
Good. I just dyed my hair. You are literally the first people to see me with new hair.
Isn't it beautiful? I like it.
That's licorice.
I'm eating red vines in celebration. Yes.
It looks beautiful.
Food.
I like it a lot.
Thanks.
I love that right before we got on the Skype call, you were like, I should take the dye out of my hair.
I was just sitting here trying to figure out how to use Adobe Premiere. And then I looked at the clock and thought, oh, the MangaPod is starting soon. I bet we'll do sound check in probably like a couple minutes. So I just keep going, doing my thing, and then I realized that there's still tons of dye in my hair that I haven't washed out, and I went, maybe I should take a minute and do that.
That was amazing.
I was fast, though, was I not?
You were so quick. You said 5 minutes, and I think you brought it back in like 3. It was ridiculous. You did good.
Thank you.
Your powers of washing out hair dye are just...
I took a full-on shower, guys. I washed my body and my hair.
And with that segue, welcome to MangaPod Book Club.
That's the way to start.
If you have never joined us before, we are a weekly podcast in which we get together and read a manga or part of a manga and discuss it here every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Oh, I got something stuck in my throat. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Welcome to MangaPod. Anyways, this week we will be discussing the last 5 volumes? Was it 4 or 5?
4.
Last 4 volumes of
volumes.
Old Boy, aka the chapters 39 through or 40 through 79. Ended on a really dumb number. Just a dumb number.
It ended on a really dumb note, too. Hi, Kat.
Yes, but we will get into that. If you, again, have never joined us before, this is going to be heavily spoilers. There's not going to be much spoiler-free action happening here. We are also going to be talking about the Old Boy movie, so if you're wanting to watch that and have not seen it yet, that's also going to be spoiled majorly, because we're going to probably spend a lot of time discussing the endings. I'm sure of things. We are going to compare them. So,
cry.
Yes. This is going to be a really interesting discussion. If you guys have been following our Twitters, it's going to be an interesting discussion to see what everybody thinks about this.
I agree.
So, that is actually, we have a little video that our lovely Dr. Daza, who usually does our description reading for us, put together. So I'm going to play that. I don't really know how the S-split works very well, so it might be a little bit jank-balled, but just hang with it. So it'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, you guys, we're going to try this. We're going to do this. Let's do it.
Work.
Got it. I got it. Hold.
Last time on the MangaPod Book Club, we talked about Old Boy, a manga about a man who was locked up for 10 years. The dark manga featured intrigue, sex, and noses. We left off with Goto on a boat, faced with a tough decision, and facing his rival. What happened next? What will we discuss? And will we have more sexy faces? Find out now on the MangaPod Book Club.
Beautiful! Yay!
Yay, we did it.
The sexy faces part just kills me every single time I see it.
It was a necessary aspect of
Obviously.
those first 4 volumes.
I know, it's kind of sad because there's really not that much sexy face.
She never came back. We did see a lot of boobies, though.
Yes.
There were lots of boobs involved in the last 4 volumes, just not quite as much bangitude.
Yeah, if you like them boobies, there's all sorts of boobies in this for you. Every kind of boobie imaginable.
They've got from young, old.
Very old.
They've got...
The boobs get very old.
They've got the... What? Hi. I'm sorry. What's wrong?
I have to help you.
What's wrong?
You're very loud.
Oh, sorry.
And they're all quiet.
Uh-oh.
Those guys are quiet. And you're loud.
Hi, friends. How do I fix it?
Well, let's go to Skype maybe. Let's check that.
Hi, everybody. everybody. Can you guys like beatbox or something while this happens?
Here, click that. They'll talk. Okay.
Technical difficulties.
Okay.
I'm gonna drink my tea.
Whoa! Wait, how do I get that
Cold
back?
coffee.
Oh.
We'll drink.
Oh.
It's okay. It's
What's
okay.
going on?
It's okay.
So how was your guys' day?
Really good.
I'm helping you. I promise.
Yep.
It's so hot
Really
here.
good. Oh god, it's like
Okay, how are we doing?
Look at that! This is my favorite thing.
Actually, you just keep talking now.
Hi. Hi everyone.
Okay, I'll watch that.
Hi,
Make sure
guys.
everything's okay.
Thanks.
Hi. How are you?
Thanks, David.
Love you.
Is this working well?
Oh gosh, I'm sorry.
I love your voice at all volumes, so it's
Aw,
fine.
You're so sweet.
It wasn't that loud to me. I don't know.
Okay, because
It
Maybe
didn't
it
sound
was
that
just
loud.
Twitch.
everybody
Oh.
always complains that
Yeah,
my
I'm just not
voice is
listening
too
through Twitch. I'm
quiet.
listening through Skype.
Everyone always says that
It was
I'm
all
too
XSplit's
quiet.
fault. Blame XSplit.
Yeah, XSplit, biatch.
Dang.
So pissed at you now. Do things. Anyway, that is
Well, how about that old boy, huh?
How about that old boy? Anyway, that is as spoiler-free as this manga pod is going to get. So if you're planning on reading or watching Old Boy, then you should go ahead and leave right now. Yeah. What? What, Dodger? What?
I just remembered that the only thing that we said before by the way, there are going to be spoilers from here on out was there were a lot of boobs.
Yeah.
There were lots of
Boobs.
boobs.
Well, truth.
Go read it.
It's like the only way to read it.
Yeah, if you want to know like the
boobs.
short description, or if you want to like hear us discuss the first 4 volumes after you read it or whatever, we discussed the first 4 volumes in another episode 2, right?
Yeah,
of the
it's
manga
episode
pod.
2. It is
So you
on
can go watch
my
that,
channel, yeah.
and then you can come back and watch the other 4 volumes being discussed and the movie.
Yeah, definitely.
That awesome.
And the
awesome
movie.
Your hair. I also realized that we forgot to introduce ourselves. So, hi, I'm Erin from HappiLeeErin, and we also have our wonderful other co-host, Dodger. Say hello.
Hi. I'm
And
busy
you,
playing with
Mama.
my bangs, guys.
Guys.
I'm from Press Hard to
What?
Continue and Dexterity Bonus, and I like to talk about manga.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yokorama, your turn. You have to play with your bangs too.
Really?
Oh my gosh, Bang Party.
No. No, I
Oh,
don't. do that.
yes.
Why are
yeah.
you short?
Yeah, I'm Yokorama. You guys should know me by now because I've been in all the episodes so far.
You should
So.
be aware of who he
You
is.
guys should probably know me. You're not like sitting there like, who's that guy in the corner?
If you don't know me, you might as well leave.
So yeah. Hi.
As well. Dr. Daza, whose hair is long enough to go into his mouth. How are you, sir?
It's yummy.
Is it?
No, not really.
There's
I
nowhere
did
to
watch
go
it
from
earlier.
here.
There's
It's a
nowhere
bit
to
sweaty
go.
because it is quite hot in Australia. But no, I am the Dr. Dazza, and you probably don't know me, but I'm here because they like me for some reason. They wanted me to join in every week.
We do like
We
you.
love you.
Yeah.
Friendship.
Yeah, what would we
But
do
yeah,
without
so
Gaza?
you'd probably be a lot less laggy.
Aww. Daza has internet connection issues, but it's okay. We
I just
still-
realized I
but-
didn't tweet about this, so I'm gonna do it really quick. Sorry.
Tweet, tweet,
Uh,
tweet, tweet,
uh,
tweet,
uh,
tweet, tweet,
um,
tweet.
We have a subreddit now as well.
Oh yes, we do. We also the first episode, episode 1 audio is going up on iTunes. We're just waiting for it to get approved. So
That's awesome.
Daz and I had a
Biggest-
lot of problems trying to figure out how to do that, but we got it done. We got it figured out. It worked out.
Wow, we're gonna be on iTunes.
We're
So
gonna-
pro.
Guys,
Yeah,
we're
man.
fish.
It's-
We're official.
I don't think the iTunes is up yet.
No,
but
it's not. I haven't
it's
got
getting.
confirmation yet. It's working on it, but and once that goes up, then I will put up the next ones all at once. So I will link on Twitter when that happens, so that you guys will be able to check that out. So we've got a lot of requests for that. So finally, we're able to get that done. So yay, yay, yay! I'm glad that I said all of this after people probably
It
left
took
from it being
forever.
so.
It's fine.
You guys,
Don't
this
even
is just
worry
the
about it.
best podcast so far. So
We work
let's-
hard, okay?
We work really hard, and sometimes things just don't work out, okay? Okay. Anyway, let's talk some old boy, shall we?
Yes, can we?
shall we just dive right in and compare the movie to the manga? How should we start this? What should we start with?
I think we should just give our thoughts like on the manga first,
Okay.
and then we'll start comparing it.
And then do the movie later.
Perfect.
I agree with that.
I agree. Okay, sweet. So, thoughts on the manga? Let's talk about like where it started off. Last time it ended on the boat.
Mm-hmm.
So, what were your thoughts going from the boat to like what happened next? Was it what you were expecting, or were you wishing that there was a different tone to it? Like, how did you feel about the tone and the pacing after that?
Well, I mean, like, by the time what we read last time went from really, really intriguing to not quite as intriguing. They were kind of revealing the veil, as it were. You weren't feeling quite as much like it was a mystery because they were spending so much time with the bad guy. And so going into the next half, I was like, I'm not sure where this is going to go, really. And they wound up having ways for the pacing to still feel great. But it definitely wasn't how I expected, unfortunately, in a negative way.
Yeah.
So those are my feelings in a vague sense.
Yeah.
So
Boys?
you didn't like the second half as much as the first half, pretty much.
I didn't, because the first half, this is gonna be a statement that works for my feelings on the movie as well. The first half, there was a lot of mystery, like I was saying. You felt like you were able to play a game with the story, and they kept you involved. And then suddenly it got to a point where there wasn't really a game anymore, and I didn't feel as invested. So that was my
They kind
problem.
of had to do something to progress the story, but I guess
Oh, I know that.
it just didn't live up to your expectations in a way.
It didn't.
My
My expectations were great and
agree with
mighty.
you as well. I was annoyed. I was really annoyed because they kept like building up that that whole like situation that happened, and then of course the ending happened, and that situation, the whole reasoning of Dojima was freaking stupid. It was
Dumb.
So
Dumbest.
dumb!
Yeah.
So
Oh my god.
It's just like,
Weakest motivation ever.
I saw you cry when I sang a
it-
song.
Of all the things you
You
could be
felt
pissed
my
about,
loneliness, and now I'm gonna ruin
you were
your
better
life.
than me at everything.
It was so stupid.
That was really bad. Like I was expecting something bad because like I heard it was bad from people that I respect as reviewers and stuff that I talk to, and like I didn't expect it being something so bad, so
Yeah.
stupid.
Like,
It was awful.
Dazzle, what about your
like-
thoughts? How did you feel going into this second half?
Like the antagonist turned from someone who was like, oh, I wonder why he's doing this, what's his motive, to really he turned from intriguing to just lame and dull, and it was like, you wasted 10 years of my life because I cried at your not that great at singing, but the lyrics
Yes.
were a bit moving.
And not only that,
And-
but the way that the other characters contributed to this feeling of like, this is gonna be deep shit. Like, this is gonna be
Yeah!
something
They built
huge.
it up!
Every character was like, oh god, he's repressing something massive. I just don't know if he can handle this situation.
Yeah, and
then
he kept
it turned out
saying
to
it.
be
He said
that.
it multiple times. Like it's not
Yeah.
that simple. It's insanely big
Yeah.
reason
How-
It
why.
wound up basically being the exact thing that he said.
Yeah!
You are dumb. This is so dumb.
So dumb. And like, I was hoping for so much more character development from Goto, and he just like, whoops, like he didn't do anything. He didn't figure anything
No.
out. He did nothing. Everybody else around him was like, what if it was this? And he was like, oh, yes, you're right. It is that. And then when he started to bring it up, he like either passed out or he started yelling at people to stop it so that he wouldn't be able to remember it. It was just like, he didn't do anything. Like,
Yeah.
there was, yeah.
The first half of, yeah, I think that's a big difference between the first and second half too, is that the first half, the story was happening because of him. He was moving everything forward. And then the second half, the story was like happening to him, and he wasn't really all that involved. Like,
Yeah.
they had all these other characters that were influencing what was happening, and he didn't really matter that much. Kat, I need you to not chew on my microphone.
The teacher was the one that was doing everything. She's the one that had all the money. She had all the power, all the knowledge. She was the one holding everything in place.
Yeah, she was the one that even saved
just,
Eri a couple of
yeah,
times.
Yeah.
I'm playing the game.
She's like the one who thought about like getting a cell phone so that they could not be traced.
Right?
She's the one who like had the money, like made sure that they went to karaoke places so that they couldn't be found. And it was just like he did nothing. It was just so like it's like think about the story if that teacher had not been introduced. Like it would have
maybe
been
he would have done something then.
nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he would have actually done something.
Yeah,
I don't. It's not like he did like that much in the first part either, though. He does. He's a very like quiet dude.
I mean,
that
he's
doesn't really-
motivated to find the person who locked him up. So he does all of these things to figure out where he was. You know, the Chinese restaurant to find the guy, and then he finds him, and then he's just like, just laying there. Like, I don't know what to do now. We're like, we don't know either. You are part of the story. You gotta do something.
Don't understand. Yeah,
Let's play a game.
Yeah.
Let's go into overtime.
Overtime. What is this?
The overtime part.
Yeah, I know,
when
that was
he
kinda lame.
finally gets cut, or was it like he won, and then he was
Yeah.
like, "This would be a lame way to end it, so let's go into overtime." And I was like, "You should have just ended it like there, because it gets even lamer."
The epilogue.
Like,
The epilogue. Why? Oh my god.
oh, the
What?
epilogue. The epilogue.
Oh.
Yeah.
The epilogue was... Oh, God. Sorry, Dazza. You say your feelings, and then I'll wait, and then I'll say my feelings.
I have more. It's more look feeling because it's just like why. It was all happy and it was all okay, and then they went to epilogue, and then they're just like, well, fudge. Now there's more questions that we need answered. They won't give it to us.
What pissed me off about the epilogue is like you said about the more answers thing, like the 5 minutes of her being hypnotized that they never answered, those 5 minutes never even needed to be in the story. It added absolutely nothing. And so then they bring up the epilogue and it's like, oh, that's what it was. And then they're like, LOL, nope, it was dream. Haha, okay. What was the point of this? It was so
I mean,
weird.
like, I get it because it's the whole idea of even after death he's haunting them, right? But I did hate that, unlike in the movie, and again I won't go into specifics, but I did hate that unlike in the movie, her hypnotism seemed pointless until the epilogue, and then things happen in the epilogue, like you see the music box and you see her jumping off of the building, and I was like, oh my god! And then he wakes up, and I was like, it was a dream. That was the most interesting thing that happened at the end of this manga, and it was a dream. I'm so angry.
Yeah, and he's like, the war is not over yet.
Yeah,
it's like,
No.
how is it not over?
Well, so wait, did Dojima, like in his mind, Dojima won? Then, if the war is not over yet.
Yeah, but how did he win?
He's
still
so
haunts him.
mental.
That's why. Because
I
he still
just-
haunts him, and that whole 5 minutes, maybe that's like another way to kind of like,
All he did was
make him live in
cry.
fear because he doesn't know what's gonna happen to Eri. Like,
I mean, it was
Yeah.
the way for him, for him to win no matter what. Like, either he kills Gato and Gato's dead, or he is forced to kill himself, and then later this thing happens with this woman that he was hypnotized into falling in love with.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if I
Okay.
found out that I was hypnoptized into falling in love with somebody, I feel like I'd be a little weird about it after that. They were
Yeah.
both just
Little
kind
bit.
of like, well...
You know, we might as well. I mean, you did take my virginity. We might as well just stick it out.
It's whatever.
I never cheated on you. I
What
never
was
thought of
that
you.
about? What was?
I didn't
I
understand
didn't
why
get
she
that.
kept saying that.
There were a lot of times in this where I was like, am I reading like a weird translation or something? And like I went and tried to find another translation. It said the exact same thing, and I was just like, there were so many lines that just made no sense to me. Either that or like I'm just not very smart and just went right over my head. But I was just like, there's so many things that I don't like understand why they're saying it the way they're saying it. The dialogue was either like really formal or just the words were, they didn't make sense. I didn't understand it.
Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Specifically the teacher. The teacher spoke in like long paragraphs and long sentences in like super formal ways and like a lot of big words and like strings of words that together didn't really make much sense. Yes,
Yeah,
Dodger.
a lot of it I don't think even mattered. Like, you
Oh.
didn't really even need to
Yeah, I
understand
didn't
a lot
Yeah.
of it. So I just kind of read it, and a lot of it, I know what you mean. Like, there were some parts that they just didn't really add anything to the story, so I just kind of ignored them when I read it.
What I hate,
Yogarama just ignores parts of the story that he doesn't like.
what I
No.
hate is that they made such a big deal about her having to write this book, right? Like that
Yeah.
Dojima had hired her to write this book about the game. And
And-
I think the very last scene that had anything to do with that was her sitting there typing and saying, "I don't know how to write this."
Yeah.
No, yeah.
And that was it. That was the end. And like, I get that it came into play when they broke into her apartment and took her floppy disks, which made me laugh so hard.
I was
like,
oh, she took his.
I bet you a
floppy
lot of
disk.
kids are reading that. Like, what?
What is a floppy disk?
What?
I don't understand, Mom.
Like Neo Tokyo? I'm confused. But like I understand that it helped that way because then Dojima was like going through and reading it and being all intrigued and whatever, but it never amounted to anything to me. It felt like another thing that just kind of flopped in terms of its.
Oh.
Flopped.
Yes.
How did Dojima like figure out where Eri is?
He had a hunch.
Like, what does
He
that?
pulled it
how-
out of his
He
ass.
he
That's
knows
how he knew.
everything.
It didn't.
was-
It
oh.
didn't explain that. Like, they just
He
kind
pulled
of
it out
said
of his
like.
ass. That's how he did it. I read it like 3 times.
Like,
He literally
he pulled it
his
out of his
ass
ass.
was like, okay.
It's
It's
literally
where
a
she-
scene where he drops trowel and reaches into his butt and
It's-
pulls out information.
That was my favorite.
That was
really
a bit
incredible.
ridiculous.
That was my
like
favorite.
even that
I don't know.
inspector's like, how'd you figure it out? I just had a hunch.
I said,
Okay, wow,
we-
that's good. You're good, man. You should be an inspector or something. Damn.
Yeah, why are you wasting
If you
all
have
your
lunches
money
like this.
going after this dude? Can I just
Yeah.
say there was one scene between the inspector and Dojima that made me laugh so hard, and like
How?
it's Dojima like asking the inspector what kind of books he likes to read or what kind of movies he likes to read, and the inspector says something about like Nazis or Germany, and then it's all of a sudden just a big like. like freeze frame with like sweat and like black and dun dun dun, and I was like, what the.
Yeah, you said you like war movie and Nazi.
Yeah, and everyone's
Nazi
like-
movies and stuff.
I was like, what the fuck is that big deal for? It's like, is that
So
gonna add to
funny.
the plot? Maybe there's something deep about Nazis in Old Boy that we completely missed.
Maybe. You know what I was excited about though? Sorry, Dazza, you go. I can hold this in. I feel like we steamroll over
No,
you
no, I
all
was
the
just-
time.
Woo. Anyway, I was just gonna say, he reminded me like the Inspector guy. He reminded me of like Colonel Casey from Chuck. Like he just had that stern. He was just like, I like Nazis, and just that was it. He reminded me of Colonel Casey, right? And he was like the '90s Japanese version of Colonel Casey from Chuck. I'm done.
I've only
He
seen
didn't
like
really
one.
say he likes Nazis. He just says he likes movies about Nazis.
he loved it.
I mean, he's trying to say that he likes war movies, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a big effing deal.
It's
apparently.
a huge deal.
Dun dun dun.
I was okay. What I wanted to say is I was really excited because you remember how I was like, yeah, I wonder if at some point, like in Count of Monte Cristo, he's gonna say something like, "I shouldn't want to be you," or "You were perfect at everything, and I shouldn't want what you have." And he totally had a line like that, and I felt so vindicated. I was so jacked. It was right at the end too. I think it was right after he tried to shoot Goto and then missed and then gave up and shot himself.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like I
Which was
always wanted-
hilarious to me. I laughed so hard. I felt like the worst person.
Just shoots. I love how he like hits him in the arm and like the glass, and then he's like, "Welp, there goes
Yeah.
that plan," and then just
Did you see there was like a cop that just like walking down there?
yeah, the cop is just like,
He's
"Oh,
like,
what is this?"
like, what is this?
And then all the cops run upstairs, and I was just like,
Well, thing happened once.
so there's
Yeah.
it's a long story, police officers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
man.
I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, I still feel like the pacing was really good. I still read it very quickly. But with this second half, I didn't feel like they gave you information that led to something that was interesting at all. Like, it just wound up being so disappointing with how big of a deal they made about all this stuff. And I'm sorry, I can't buy into the hypnosis thing. So that was another thing that just made it dumb for me.
So dumb. So
Hypnotism
made
my
me
hair
so
at that case.
angry.
I was
Both
just
the
like,
movie and in the manga.
no.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, the story itself, like, it was very lackluster in a way. You know, we got to the conclusion, but I still really like from the first half that, like, the reason why it was so fast to read was because there was so many pages where it was just no dialogue. It was just them, like, looking at things. There's like a bird landing on a plant or like something. It's like I really like that kind of storytelling.
Yeah.
So they did it really well, and really decent art. I'm not gonna say really good art, but decent art.
Definitely. I agree. I think, yes.
Can we talk about how the nose got bigger?
Yes, we can!
I think it was just the angle.
Oh,
It
I was
the angle.
so excited.
No, it got
The
bigger.
nose gets
like,
bigger.
Dojima, as a kid, his nose was like out here somewhere.
And
This was his whole face. It was a nose.
I love that with the
Amazing.
nose as a kid. The first shot of it is like an up the nostril thing. I was just like, why? It was just
Yeah.
a huge nose.
How
shot. Like,
was
guys in
it?
the chat,
It was like this.
if you did not read and you're just staying because you love us so much, the nose is huge. It's a big nose.
I did
Like,
love. You know how we talked about how well he does at drawing facial features? I loved that kid did look like he could have been facially reconstructed to become the Dojima that we know.
Yeah.
But he did
Yeah.
look very different at the same time. That did fascinate me, like the way
Yeah,
that
those
the
very
faces were
droopy
structured.
eyes.
I agree.
Yeah, the eyes
The
were all messed
eyes.
up, and his nose was
They were, like,
huge.
looking
I was like,
different
And he had like a mole or something on it.
and he
acne.
apparently tried to kill his teacher, but sang
that
with the heart of
wasn't
an
ever
angel.
confirmed either, though. Like, I was hoping to like hear him actually say that.
Yeah.
I tried to see you.
Yeah, she was just like, I know it's him. I know he tried to kill me. I was like, oh.
Oh, dang. Let's talk about the teacher character a little bit. Like, we
Okay.
kind of touched on her, but what were your guys' initial thoughts and what were your guys' final thoughts on her? Did anybody, like, feel anything when she brought up? Like, anything
I didn't expect her to get as involved in the story. I didn't expect her to stick around the whole time.
Yeah.
But I liked her as a character because she felt very different from the other female characters that we had been introduced to so far. Those were my feelings. I liked her.
Good. Okay.
I don't really have much to say about her. She was really there to just progress the story. Like, she was the biggest thing that progressed the story because she was actually trying to figure out what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, that's that. Without her, I don't know where like the story would go. So I guess yeah, she did talk a lot. Like I said, I did ignore a lot of the stuff she was saying because I just didn't give a shit, you know. But apart from that, yeah, she was needed, and I didn't hate her, so that's cool.
Yeah.
See, when she first came in, I'm just like, okay, Goto's had sex with every girl that's given him information.
Yes!
So when are we going to have the
well.
sex face scene?
Yes.
When is that going to happen?
That
And
was
then it never happened. I was
That
just
was
like,
a big surprise that it never happened.
I know.
There was
I
a part when
shocked.
she said
She
like
was giving off
like
so many
I am
hints.
physically attracted to you, but I'm feeling like a teacher to you again. So.
Yeah. I was
And he never
So
seemed
shocked.
like interested in her. And it wasn't very long into their relationship that they brought up Eri anyway. And she was like, "Oh, do you love that chick?" And he's like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Dope." And that was it.
Boom.
anything,
Done.
to be honest, to do relationships. Like the time he first had sex with Eri, the time he had sex with that girl with the weird face, and then when
He
his
never
friend
came back.
was dying.
It was just I was surprised by the lack of sex.
The
in
teacher
this.
did almost have sex with that lesbian though.
Right?
Yeah, right?
There was some tension.
Random little fan service there.
Right? Yeah, when she was like, "Hold on, I just need to change clothes." Naked full page. I was
I
like,
don't know.
Do you mind if I take off my clothes?
It's hot in
It's
here.
really
Can I
hot
take
here.
off my clothes?
It's like,
yeah,
Go ahead.
it was hilarious. But I mean, at the same time,
likes to draw
like,
boobs.
I did like that they didn't just have those scenes without it being addressed. Like, she was obviously trying to seduce the teacher and was very open about it. So I was like, well, at least that's true. Still fan service, but at least they talked about it.
At least.
And how uncomfortable the teacher is. She's just
I know.
like,
I look. She's like. Oh, that was
like,
so
I
funny.
mean, your boobs look great, but
But I don't swing that way.
I don't touch ladies. Or a teacher.
I thought it was interesting how her agent, the old Japanese woman who lives in the U.S., was like actually Dojima.
Was
in a
Dojima
mask?
in a mask? I was like,
Oh,
I was
my
like,
God.
are we just stretching, like just pulling things from random and just kind of sticking them together? Because that was weird.
yeah.
That was really creepy when he sent the mask in that
Yeah,
box.
I thought it was a
an
head.
actual
I
head.
thought it
I'm
was
like,
a head. I was like, yes, somebody died. Somebody died.
like
This is
a
getting
severed
interesting,
head,
and there was a
like,
head in
damn.
a box, and it was just a mask. I was like, oh.
It's just a mask, man.
It was kind of weird when she started wearing that like
She
mask
put
in
it
public.
on.
That was weird.
I mean,
Oh.
I get that she was trying to provoke whoever was following him around, but
Yeah.
I was like,
Nah, I think they just had a
Alright.
lot of like old lady fan service in these 4 volumes.
There
It-
was
Lots of
that
old
whole
ladies.
mask-
lots of wrinkly boobs. There
The
was a
bathhouse
lot of
scene.
wrinkly boobs.
Yeah.
Oh, why do you have to bring that up? I just expelled that from my mind, and now I've got
You
like
loved
old
the
lady
wrinkly
Sadie
boobs, Daz,
and
don't
naked
lie.
boobs in my head.
Oh, hi, Sherlock.
Oh man.
this is what's happening because he can't stay away from the microphone.
He looks really sad that he got caught.
I know. He should feel sad.
Oh, shame,
Wrinkly
Sherlock.
boobs, thanks,
Shame.
Obama.
Shame. There were a lot of boobs in this. We kind of already talked about that, but there's.
Have we mentioned there's boobs in
There's
this?
boobs.
There are lots of boobs.
I can't forget them. He really likes to draw detailed nipples.
It's
And
true.
like every nipple was a little different. Not that I like studied it, but every nipple was a
It's
little
true
different.
though. He has good attention to detail.
Mhm.
He was on Google with Safe Search off, looking up all sorts of boobs before he drew this.
Oh,
Oh.
man, all the boobies. So
Oh.
many boobies.
Can we talk about the dead, not actually dead best friend?
I was just
scene?
gonna bring that up. Yes, yes we can. Because we had a bet. Oh, let's remind everyone of the bets really
Oh,
quick.
that's right.
So if you saw episode 2, at the end of it, we all came up with bets because everyone was like, no, this person's gonna die, no, this person's gonna die. So we all bet each other like very small pieces of coins. And so the bets, to remind everybody, there were 3. The first one is Dodger will send Yokorama a nickel if Girlface dies. And the second one is Aaron and Dodger get a penny if the best friend dies. And the third one is Aaron will give Daza and Dodger all the YouTube's money if she don't betray him. So
You
those
lost
were
that
the
one.
3.
Totally lost that.
And I believe in the Google Doc where we have them all written, where I put winner, it just says flaw. But
We
yeah, so
almost won, Aaron.
we almost won.
We
I got
almost
I
won.
got so excited when they
So
like,
close,
I was-
Aaron.
It was crazy because
was
like when
so
I saw that, when they said like, "Oh, come here, I gotta show you something," I'm like, "No, somebody's gonna die right now." And then they show him, and I'm like, "No, I lost the bet." and then like, then he's just like, "No, he's not really dead."
And you were
I'm
like, yes.
That's how invested we were in the story. The bets were the one driving us along.
And,
Yeah,
and the
it's
rest of the
true.
time, when Eri was about to get caught in Tokyo and stuff, I'm like, "Please kill her, please kill her. I want to win." And it didn't
I
happen.
want that nickel.
You owe me a nickel, Yokorama.
Oh, I owe everyone
I got a
pennies
nickel right here.
And
All
monies.
right.
Oh, look at that.
Just throw it at the camera and we'll pretend I got it.
I don't want to break
I don't have any pennies.
Actually, I have a bunch of nickels actually on the table. For some reason.
Yokorama says all this change. So
Are we pulling out money?
I-
I've got Australian money.
I've got.
Here's 50%.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's huge.
Give it to me.
That's worth more than an American
got-
cents as well. So, wow.
So it's kind of
Here's
like a
20.
75-cent piece.
Probably.
Oh. Australian money. It's so exotic.
Like showing off our
Whoa.
coins
10
now.
cents?
Yeah.
I don't have any. I just have a bunch of ones. That's all I
I
have.
have quarters as well in a cup.
Oh,
From
oh,
David's
we've got
wallet.
old
It's
money.
not even mine.
I
There we
have
go.
quarters
Go.
in a
Oh, what's your mug?
A One Piece
One
mug.
Piece.
One Piece Naruto
Oh.
and
What?
That's
Is it just a Shonen Jump?
yeah, this
mug?
was sent to me by a YouTuber.
No,
Oh,
anyone's
that's awesome.
Croatia.
Croatia.
He made that for me. Cool.
He made that?
Yeah, he ordered it like custom.
Oh, I'm jelly. That's cool.
I don't use it because this is way too small for me. Like, come on.
How am I supposed to fit?
Guys,
cups worth of tea into one cup with this.
obviously, he did not think this through. To touch on the best friend almost dying scene, that was probably my favorite part, just because that was around the same time where like I actually felt suspense from the story, and like when I got to that part, I was like, oh, somebody's dead, who's it gonna be? And then it showed the best friend. I was like, no, and then I was like, yes, because I just won the bet. But then I was like, no,
Yes.
Yes, he's dead. We have death.
But I was so shocked that they killed him, because I don't think they killed anybody in the manga
But at the
before
same
that, right?
time, I was really proud of the mangaka. I was like, oh, this is a dark story, and you were not too scared to kill off a character that everybody loves. And then he was alive.
And then he was just sedated. I was like,
Oh wow.
Felt fury.
Nah,
And
but
a
that
lot
was
of feelings.
unexpected. Like, it's funny because there was
It was.
two unexpected moments there. That like he died, and you're like, oh wow, he's dead. And then like he's not dead, and you're like, oh wow, he's not dead.
I was much less enthused about the second one.
You're kind of
I
like,
was much less
oh wow.
happy about that.
Kind of like question. Like,
I was like,
okay.
oh, he's
I mean, to be fair though, if that was like IRL, I would be like, whoa, that was sinister. You probably messed a person up. But I don't know, in the story it just felt like a
yeah, it was so
felt like we were
insane.
just back where we were.
And the friend's just an idiot. He's like, I went in a car ride with this hot chick, and I passed out. Like
He's
I
like, I
passed
don't
out. I don't know
I
why.
don't get what happened.
I think I'm getting old.
I
Like,
don't. Yeah, I can't handle my alcohol as well. Oh,
And then he
was
snakes
so,
us. Of
he
course.
was so done. He was so special.
That guy, yeah, that's that guy.
That guy.
I
was
like.
just
I
great.
mean, he was the likable, normal guy that
No,
was
I
caught
loved
up in
him.
everything, and you're just like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
he had
gonna
no
die, and
idea
they
what's
did.
going on. He did get like sprayed in the face. that
Yeah, I
one time.
loved the part where he got. I thought that was
That's
so
all
funny.
these questions.
He just-
Like, who are you? Who are you? What's going on? What's this? What's this? He gets like sprayed in the face. All alcohol falls on him.
I wish.
Like, take it.
I wish I could just spray people in the face I didn't want to talk to.
yeah, me too. That would be
Make
great.
them pass out. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
pass out.
Yeah.
That was a scary face dodger right there. That was really
It wasn't
scary.
really scary.
Yeah, dude.
I'd like
She's like, I'm
Dun, dun.
serious, guys. Are you not? Are you not being serious about this?
Dazza, you look concerned.
It's just like.
Daz, are you okay? Daz, we were joking. We were
You look
joking.
very.
You look
like,
very.
You look
I
upset.
can't hear you.
Aw.
He lagged out so much I didn't hear anything he said for the last like 2 minutes. I'm just sitting here being like,
Oh, we were just making fun of you for 2 minutes.
Aww.
Aw.
I love you guys too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Friendship.
High fives.
High fives. Yokorama, high five your camera.
I couldn't pick up my nickel. Here's a nickel dot. No.
It's mine now. Yeah. You don't need to see it. It's fine. Just trust me.
Just trust me. There was one thing. This wasn't one of the bets, but after we did Old Boy, Dodger did that one from my house because you didn't have any internet.
Oh, that's right.
And like I remember after we finished, you got really excited because you thought of another hypothesis that. Do you remember what it is?
that until right now.
Do you want to bring that up, or do you want me to say it? Do you remember?
You
what it
can
was?
you can say it. I remember it, but
Okay,
you can
she
say
got
it.
really excited and she runs out. She's like, I just thought of something else that could happen that I totally should have bet on. And it was that you thought that the girl was going to get pregnant. You thought that Eri was going to get pregnant and then she was going to die. And so you were
Yeah.
really mad that you bet against the fact that she was going to die because you thought she was going to get pregnant and then die.
Yes, because they made a huge deal when they first had sex. They made a huge deal
Yeah.
of him being like, "Do you have a condom?" and her being like, "It's fine." And I was like, "Oh my god, she's gonna get pregnant." When I thought of that after we were all done, I looked at Erin horrified, and I was like, "Erin, she's gonna die because she's gonna be pregnant, and they're both gonna die."
And then you were so
upset.
angry.
And then
that you
she
did-
wasn't pregnant
And
or
then
died.
she didn't
It was-
die. It was
Yeah.
really,
I totally forgot that I said that though.
yeah.
Oh, I'm glad that I didn't remember that because that would have been yet another thing that really let me down.
There's so much that let us down. There was the thing that, okay, there's a lot of stuff that I thought was like, this is dumb, why is this happening? But something that I really thought was really dumb was when they had a week left to do the whole game in overtime. Overtime was a week long. And then
Yes.
the Goto's like, I have one condition. we have to spend that week together. And then Dojima like sweats really hard and is like, oh no, oh god. And then he's like, okay, I accept, but can you really spend a week with me? And then they're all sweating, and then they go.
I don't think you can handle it.
They go to his hotel room, and they're like just staring each other down for 5 minutes. It lasts 5 minutes, and then he gets a phone call, and then he leaves. He's like, I can't handle this. I was like, you were there.
been
You were there for
5
2
minutes.
pages. You were really there. And then he spends that week in the forest.
In the
alone.
forest finding himself. That cracked me up so bad because I was like, wait, so all of this time that you were saying to yourself, oh, I guess it's going to be just impossible to stay with him for a week. It would have been absolutely possible because you were just sitting in the woods. You dumb dummy.
You dumb dummy.
So angry.
What was the point of him being in the woods like that? Because he did remember everything right after the whole hypnosis thing, you know? And then, like, nothing new was added.
I think because he thought for sure he was going to lose and he wanted to take the week to find inner peace or whatever.
Zen it.
Sitting under a waterfall.
It was
And
dumb.
then he goes for the final confrontation, right? And he says, I think you're upset because I was moved by your song. And he's like, no, that's not it. It's something far more specific. And then it turns out that it's because you were moved by my song. I was like, you, what?
It was so stupid.
And Goto, he caught that. He caught that. He's like, you liar, you know, it is that. And he's like,
Yeah.
no, shut up.
He's like, no, it's not. What do you mean? I was like,
Now you broke
Yeah.
your window. You're letting in a draft. You didn't even kill him. Just shoot yourself.
Really?
And he did, and it was great.
we're really nice people.
I was so aggravated with this manga, you guys.
It was so stupid. I was angry.
Yeah.
There were so many things that made me angry. Like, I got really excited because there was a few parts that made me really, really interested in it and really intrigued. Like, I got the heart pounding for like a few moments, and then they did something dumb, and then it all went away. But like, one of the moments was when we thought the best friend died, and then the other one was when the teacher came in and surprised Dojima, and I was like, they got him. He's caught off guard. He is so surprised, and he was like sweating buckets, and he was really nervous, and then he like knew that was gonna happen. Like, he completely was like, oh well.
Well, he knew everything.
What you guys
Yeah.
knew what the plan was, and I was just like, why do you know everything? You're dumb.
You're wrong. Dojima, you're a dumb.
You're a big
Should
shithead.
We
So-
talked
So
about
you guys think that
the
that
movie?
the second half was worse? Way worse than the first half.
Yes, and I didn't like the first half.
Of course it is.
So
I loved the first half.
Do you
and
no? Do you
hated the second
think
half.
that this second half it had more bad than good content?
the second half.
Yeah. Like, does the bad overshadow the good, or does the good overshadow the bad?
I personally
Uh,
think the bad overshadows the good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
Really?
Yeah.
All of us are just staring.
I was ready for you to feel differently.
The thing is, like, I'm thinking, like, since we read the whole thing, I'm thinking about this series as a whole, and as a whole, I still think it's a pretty solid series, apart from, like, not even the second half. Like, the second half of the second half was crap. But the first half of the second
I
half
think that's
was
fair to
pretty
say.
good.
Yeah.
So I can't really, like, I feel kind of bad for kind of hating on the series a little bit, because it's like, it was still pretty good. It's just that, like, the last couple volumes were kind of crap, though. That's the only really downfall of it.
Yes, I will agree with you because I was really intrigued by the teacher getting involved, by the possibility of her actually being on Dojima's side, like that whole thing. I was like, oh man, like, is this happening again? And then all of that happened. But yeah, the like primary events leading up to the end and the end itself was extremely disappointing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Like, it took me so long to get into it at first, and then it started getting good, and then it was just like it dipped again for me. But there were definitely more moments in the second half where I actually felt invested and felt like intrigued and my heart racing. Like, there was a few more in the second half than there were in the first half, and so I really liked that. And it was also like Dodger said, the stuff about the teacher getting involved and like the possibility, like you didn't really know who was on whose side. There was a lot of that, and so that intrigued me a lot more. But there was also the ending. I was just like, bah, about, and so I don't know. Bad endings sometimes like take a lot of things away from me. But
They just sour it. Yeah, I agree with that.
I will say that the mangaka is really, like, he did have a really solid story overall. It's just, I think there was a lot of things that could have been changed to make it better. And
This
make it
it's just this whole story. It's kind of hard to think of a really good ending. Like, what could he have possibly really done that could like make him hate him, like that kind of character that Dojima was? Because he was still really mysterious. We didn't really know too much about him in the end.
Yeah.
Apart like about the whole economic bubble and that he was a really dopey looking kid.
Yeah.
Throwing bricks
And he
off.
had an aura.
Had lots of money in the real tape.
Yeah,
Real
aura.
tape.
Yeah, like
Full
it's
aura.
just if he spent a little bit more time maybe on Dojima, like at least like towards the end, maybe it could have been better. I don't know.
I agree. Yeah.
See, what they should have done is had like a whole backstory chapter on Dojima and sort of built him up as a character as like this autistic person who just didn't understand the world around him and was beaten up. And then this kid came into his life. You know, that would have made us more emotionally invested, but they didn't do that. They just said, "Oh, you cried at my singing. I don't like you."
Yeah. That was.
That humiliated him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Why?
felt his loneliness, guys. They felt
Like,
loneliness together.
I don't get how that humiliated him. That he.
I
felt
don't
his-
either.
I don't get it either. It wasn't something that anybody else noticed or knew about at all. It was like,
Yeah.
but it did make everything where in the first half when he kept being like, oh well, what am I supposed to do now, or like, oh my, I don't have any company anymore, or however he was putting it, like when he would watch Goto and that whole thing, that made more sense to me. What?
Dazzle, you're really frozen, and I've been trying to interject for a little. Oh no, he's gone.
Yeah. No.
You're coming back. Okay. I
He's
wasn't
good.
ignoring you. I was just trying to find a place not to interrupt, but I was like felt
Yeah,
really worried
he's
for
connected,
you.
reconnected. It's fine.
It's okay.
Just wanted
I
you to
was
know
trying
that
to
I
look-
was thinking about you, not ignoring you. I just thought you had a really good poker face.
Yeah.
Is that better, guys? Is that better?
Yes, I can see you now.
Oh, I can't. I still have the swirly circle.
Oh, he came back for me like
It'll be fixed on
immediately.
the 12th. It'll be fixed on the 12th. It's okay.
We'll just. Okay. Aw, I feel so bad. You're swirling for me.
Oh no!
Mm-hmm.
Try one more time, Daza.
Yeah, try
Dun,
coming back.
dun, dun,
Dun
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 dun.
dun 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 dun.
Is that better? Can people see me now?
Wait, did he come back for you guys?
He hasn't
Nah,
come back for
he's
me
still-
yet.
Can-
I see the
Can you see me
swirly.
now?
No, we still got your circle.
Oh,
We didn't.
this is so sad.
It's fine because this hasn't happened since episode 1.
I know, right?
I know.
Doing pretty
That's how
good.
we're done with this.
You guys, it's okay. This episode has just been full of our technical issues. It's okay.
It's fine.
It's fine. Dazzle, we can still hear you. You've just gotta.
Am I back yet?
No, you're swirling like a circle and
Third time's the charm. Try
Yeah,
one more
try one
time. Third time.
All right. Let's do this.
We'll keep
do this.
dancing,
Okay.
or I'll keep dancing for you.
Oh yeah, good idea.
There we go. Is that? Come on. Is it swirly? It's more swirly.
Hold
isn't
on.
it? It's more swirly.
Hold on. It's a swirl. It's a swirl.
Swirl. The swirl. Swirl.
I'm dancing.
There
but
we
not
go!
singing.
Yep. Yep.
The dancing. The dancing.
It was the
worked.
dancing, man.
Yes. It was beautiful.
Hey.
All right.
Okay,
So to
let's-
celebrate your coming back.
Wait,
Talk about movie.
why are we talking about manga?
Okay. Oh, you froze again.
He froze like, yeah!
He's so happy. Aww.
Let's keep it like that. It's fine.
Okay, it's fine.
Oh, there we
Frozen-
go. You unfroze for me at least.
You have unfrozen for me. Perfect.
Yay!
Perfect. Okay.
I know.
Let's...
I know you were trying to get out of talking about the movie, Daza.
Yeah.
We all
I just
know
didn't want to talk about
what was going on.
You guys talk about the movie. I can't even hear you guys properly. Like, okay, movie. The movie sucked ass. Done. There you go.
we haven't quite started talking about the movie.
You can't
but now
just say
we
that
said
and say done. Explain yourself.
Explain.
Okay. I thought the direction was really bad. I didn't like the editing. The plot was blur. I mean, the plot was a little bit better than the manga at the end, but still, it was like, ugh. And then when he cut the tongue, I was literally gagging. I've never ever gagged ever watching a film. Like, I've watched horror films throughout. I've watched a lot of those videos that you should not watch on the internet. Never gagged. This film made me gag, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, it's disgusting. But that's also got to have a good point with the main actor, because the main actor did a really good job of it. I wouldn't say it was a great film. It was better than the ending of the manga, but it wasn't a great film by any accounts. It was mainly average.
I thought it was.
There we go.
I thought it was a great film.
Wait,
Go
okay,
ahead.
you
Fight
grew
scenes
up-
were great as
I
well.
don't like
okay,
it as
you
much
grew up
as
like, okay.
I liked it the first time I saw it. I saw it like 5-6 years ago, and I loved it. But at the same time, I remember it was a really, really weird ending. But I went into rewatching it without remembering anything, apart remembering that it was a really, really weird ending. And yes, it was. It was a really weird ending.
And it did not let you down.
But the thing is, I knew it was completely different to the manga, apart from the whole like just parts, bits and pieces about being locked up and stuff. Except it was 15 years instead of 10 years. That was one thing.
Yeah.
And
Which wound up
Goto's
being
character, it wasn't Goto. It was another dude. I
It
guess.
was not Goto's character.
Because like, come on, that guy was just like screaming, like pissing himself, doing random shit.
Doing random shit. He did not hesitate to
really
beat people up.
crazy. He was very talkative as well. Not like Goto.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a good movie. I loved how funny it was. Like his reaction. He portrayed it really well. He was locked up for 15 years and then coming out like out of that prison, and then like the way he was acting, it was just freaking awesome. I loved it. Like he was like, when you saw a woman for the first time, he's just like, that's a real woman. Like, that was awesome. When he saw that guy for the first time on the what is it called? On the ceiling? Not ceiling.
Roof?
Yeah. Roof.
Oh.
On the ceiling.
I was like, did we watch
On
the
the
same
roof.
movie?
I forgot.
When I was watching The Exorcist and saw the guy on the ceiling,
Yeah.
I screamed.
But yeah, on the roof, and like the way he like kind of flipped out and like started like kissing him almost and shit. That was kind of weird.
And then he just
I don't know,
he
it was
just
really
lets
cool.
him commit suicide with the dog.
But again, like
Yeah.
he's not a good person. Like Gato is set up to be this good person, and he's not a good person at all, and doesn't even pretend to be a good person.
For me, I did not. It took me. Okay, I'll just start by saying that the movie is like 2 hours long, and
Yeah.
it took me like 3.5 hours to finish it because I had to keep pausing it because I was like either really bored or something was happening. I was like, nope, I'm not watching this right now. Like the ant thing. Like I get that he was going crazy, but ants are disgusting. Ants are gross.
Oh my gosh, the
like
ants!
ants
No,
at the
crawling
beginning, like when
all over
his
his face.
no,
climbed out of his
I
pants.
cannot deal with
And,
that.
and when she's on the subway and there's a giant ant like reading the newspaper.
No, no.
That was weird. That
I
was really
loved. Okay, I didn't like that movie. I loved the stuff about the ants. And everybody can make as many jokes as they want about the fact that my room has been infested by ants like 1,000,000 times in the last 2 years. Don't even care. I thought that the ant scenes were really interesting.
I thought it was interesting about like he was going
ants,
crazy.
like the only thing I can't deal with.
The giant ant on the train or whatever. That was really out of place. Like
What?
It was great. It was great.
it's a
but
giant
that
ant.
was-
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anyone
Ants,
understand why
ants
the
are
giant
never
ant-
alone. It's a lesson in loneliness. You would never find an ant
Yeah.
on their own.
Oh, I didn't get that.
Mm-hmm.
Well. Continuing on.
What'd you guys think of the fight scene in the
I love the fight scene.
secret
The hallway.
Hallway fight scene is
That was
amazing.
great. One
That was
shot.
the best.
Amazing.
That was one of my favorite fight scenes of all time. I'm putting that like in my top 5. Like
so
that was the most
cool.
ridiculous.
And
And very realistic.
so
Like
awesome.
it was clean, but not so clean that it was obviously choreographed for me. When I was watching it, I was like, this is like messy enough that I would believe this was happening.
Yeah.
No, but like
is
it's
impressive.
still unbelievable. He's fighting like 10 guys.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but
He shows like weakness and like fatigue and like he
He had a
misses
knife
punches.
stuck in his back. He had a knife stuck in his back the whole
Doesn't
time.
I know that was great.
amazing.
People,
Those guys were breaking like
Boards
baseball
over
bats
his
on his
heads.
like back and stuff, like
Yeah.
throwing stuff at him. He has his hammer. He just runs in there, like hits him with hammers, and I thought it was awesome.
I loved that fight scene. And the one where he fights the thugs for no reason other than they get pissed that he stole their cigarettes.
Well, that happens in the manga too,
Yeah.
where he like goes
Oh,
and
that's
beats people
right.
up so that he can get money.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
There in the movie,
Yeah,
he wanted to
that's
test
true.
his strength. If, like,
Yeah.
shadow
It was
boxing.
different, yeah. But I really loved the style of the movie and how it was shot
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I thought the cinematography was amazing, and I really, really liked that. But the plot overall, it's just like it lost me just really early on, and like I couldn't get into it. And then the ending just made me like I wasn't really grossed out about it. Like I thought like okay, well that's weird, but but the
Yeah.
I mean, it's
It
but
was
like
weird.
the whole moral of the story. I was like, what is the moral of this story? Is it that if you're banging your sister, it's okay as long as the person that peeps on you doesn't say anything about it? Like that's okay? Because then he cuts out his tongue afterwards. It's like nothing good happens to the good guy, but like, and then the bad guy shoots himself in the head. But it was just like the moral of the story really didn't make sense to me. It just wasn't that I don't know that part of it.
It's
just
about.
didn't
I think it
really
was
make
more
sense.
about like the beast that we all have a beast inside of us or something. That's
Tell-
really.
explain that. Explain
what I
explain why
got
that.
from the story was like the moral of the story was supposed to be don't spread rumors to people because it can mess them up. But thinking more upon that, it wasn't actually. It wasn't Goto. Well, whatever his name was, Doi Su or whatever. It wasn't Doi Su's rumor really. It was the fact that the brother and the brother and sister were having sex. You know that was the whole psychological trauma thing with him, and the rumor kind of just spread it out a tiny bit, and then it blew up, thus causing the film and death and intercourse with daughters.
Thus causing.
Oh my gosh,
So,
man! The whole hypnosis and like, man, that guy's so evil. Like,
Yeah.
to do it.
I
Yeah.
His motivation
It
was
was
like his
crazy.
motivation just felt so weak to me. I mean, the manga's motivation was way worse, but like
Yeah.
the motivation of the bad guy felt so weak to me. Like I understand that when something horrible like that happens, that a lot of people when they go through trauma like that, they like to put blame on other people, even if they were the reason it happened. But that just seemed a little extreme to me. Like just everything he went through, like to do that. But yes.
So
Yeah, he still got his sister pregnant. Like even if it wasn't for Goto.
he did.
He
That is
did.
true.
Yeah.
no,
That's not Goto's fault.
Said in the film, it wasn't. She didn't get
She-
pregnant. It was psychologically pregnant.
Yeah, she thought
Like,
she was
just
Yeah,
got
she
pregnant.
wasn't actually
And
pregnant.
that
She
made
was
her
actually pregnant.
But
Yeah.
the thing is, he's getting angry at the fact that Goto found out. Why is he having sex with his sister in the middle of school?
Look, hormones take over at the least expected times, Dazza.
Dada, you would be the one to defend that.
But seriously, you think if you're trying to keep your sex down low with your sister, you wouldn't do it in school. It's just
So-
common sense.
Apparently, this movie is part of a trilogy by the same director that all have to do with different types of revenge. And so I didn't look at this movie and think there should be a moral to this because it was a psychological thriller. It ended in a way where nobody was happy, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was literally a story about revenge and the way that revenge can impact all of the people involved. I mean, we got to see the layer of it where the bad guy at the end was just like, well, I have nothing else to live for because I've dedicated so much of my life to this. We
Yeah.
got to see the person who is having revenge exacted upon them be so confused and at the same time want so badly for it to just all go away, to the point of being like, what do I have to do to make this stop? Do I have to cut out my tongue so I can never say anything again? All right. And then he does it and you're like, no, like,
Yeah.
and then there's the people that are involved that were innocent, like the girl. And so I was willing to go along with that, but I felt like, much like with the manga, I felt like this was set up to be the sort of movie where you, as the viewer, were told, all right, so this guy was locked away for 15 years. Why was he locked there? And you're playing a game along with this movie. And then at a certain point, when they go to the school and they find him in the yearbook, just give you all of this information. They don't bring you along for it at all. They're just like, all right, so we didn't lead you to this point, but here we are, and here's everything. And now here's the end, where, again, we're just going to tell you everything. Yeah. And I felt left behind. I wasn't invested anymore. I was really invested at the beginning, but I didn't like him as a character, so I didn't really care whether or not he figured anything out. I just wanted to figure it out for myself. And then they left me behind. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I think that ending, I would have really loved that ending because it was definitely super like, what? Yeah. I would have loved that ending if they had brought me along for the ride to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are my feelings.
And done.
It still doesn't change that ending was still just like, wow, what the hell, man?
Yeah. Especially since he goes back to the hypnotist and he's like, look, if you can just make me forget everything so that I can still bang my daughter and not know. I was like, no!
That part, I was like, what?
Because that's a logical conclusion. I remember
Obviously.
I'm banging my daughter. Let's forget about that so I can continue doing it.
And never tell her. I understand, like, you don't want to scar her, but that doesn't mean you need to forget that and just go keep banging your daughter.
No, you can't. You kind of what you do in that situation is that you kind of ease her into a friend relationship, and that's it. Saying, "I don't want to do you anymore. Let's be friends."
I did not know where you were going with that.
You don't forget and bang her more.
Dr. Daza bringing you all the advice on how not to bang your daughter.
Indeed.
just bring her to a friend relationship. Oh wow, but that's
Somebody in the chat somebody in the chat mentioned that the moral of the story is the quote that they say throughout. Laugh and the world laughs with you, weep and you weep alone. No, that makes sense. I get that. So, but Dodger, contemplation face? Sink face?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that? Anybody?
I don't have any specific thoughts on that.
I didn't hear what you said. Do you want to say it then?
Somebody in the chat said that the moral of the story is the quote that they say throughout, the laugh and the world laughs with you, weep and you weep alone. Does that ring with you?
Yeah.
I did find that quote pretty cool though.
I liked that quote a lot.
Yeah.
Well, it's really
that was.
It seems like the quote seems like one of those things that will get responded and reposted on Tumblr a lot with a caption from the movie.
I feel like people might tweet
everywhere,
it.
like the gifs of Goto's character being all moody, and then that's what I think.
I can find that on Tumblr. I will reblog that tonight.
Yeah, do it.
And then be like, I did not like this manga or this movie, but here's some quotes from it.
They are making... America is making an old boy movie that is coming out later this year.
Does anyone have
Samuel
thoughts
Jackson.
on that?
Yeah, they're
Spike.
apparently following the manga.
What's
They're
his
not
name?
just
Spike?
replicating the other movie, which is good.
But they
So-
want to still have the octopus scene in it, I think.
It's still going to be different. A little bit different.
I'm looking forward to it, even though it's probably gonna suck.
It's probably going to suck, but it has an interesting cast.
Samuel L. Jackson is...
Yeah, Samuel Jackson's in it. How can it suck? I mean, that was like the best part of Star Wars.
You're right, Daza.
Yes, Daza. It's like, what? Who else? Spike Lee. How could I forget that name?
I know, I was just going to say Aaron.
Spike Lee is directing it, so that'll be interesting as well to see how he takes that. And then who's the girl? The Olsen twins' little sister, Lizzie Olsen. She is the main girl in it. She's actually a really good actress.
Is
I
she?
really
What
like
else
her,
has she
yeah.
been in?
She was in crap, I can't remember the name of the movie, but she was in a movie and she was nominated for an Oscar. Like last year, the year before.
What?
It was a movie about a cult, something like that. People, is Erin related to Spike Lee? Yes, I am.
That's not a good
Can't
thing.
you tell the
Sometimes
similarities?
it's not a good thing.
What is the name of that movie? It's gonna bug the balls out of me now.
Well, her name is
Yeah.
Elizabeth Olsen, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah, somebody posted the Wikipedia.
Hold up, I'm looking. What is it called? What the heck? Where's the... Old Boy? Oh, Martha Marcy May Merlene. Something like that. That's why I
That's
can
a-
remember.
That's the
a
name
pretty
of
hard
the
name to
movie?
remember. That's a hard.
That's the name of the movie.
Yeah, nobody
It's
can
about-
feel bad for not knowing that.
It's about a
I've
girl
never heard
who...
the film.
It's about a girl who gets abducted by a cult and then it like goes into... And then she escapes from it, and it goes into like how her mind is still like, well, I need to go back to the cult or something like that. Like it just
Like
displays how
Stockholm
cult.
Syndrome?
Yeah, it like goes into Stockholm syndrome. She was like very, very good in it.
Huh.
I just could not remember the name. It's a
I
long.
didn't know.
But
I didn't
she
know.
is going to be in it, so that'll be interesting. It's got a strong cast, so I'll be interested to see how.
It's gonna. No, it's definitely gonna be. I'm definitely gonna watch it, and it's definitely gonna be interesting. But it's probably gonna suck. Like.
I don't think it's gonna have. I wonder if they're gonna change how the ending will be because the ending of the Korean film is like obviously very graphic and very stunning.
Yeah.
So like, I wonder how they're going to make that. I wonder if they're gonna go through for the same effect for it, like the same like grotesque effect of like just surprising people and
Right.
the brutality. I wonder if they're gonna go with the same kind of thing. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
I have no idea because I don't think they're following the manga exactly. I think it's inspired.
No, but
by-
they wanted to pull from the manga rather than from the movie.
yeah.
It's funny because it seems
So-
like they keep trying like to get the story right.
Yeah.
Maybe third time's the charm.
Maybe.
Like making a
Maybe.
masterpiece.
It-
You know, I
The
don't know.
first time, the American version would be the best version would be Old Boy.
Oh my
I
god.
don't. I can't believe that will happen.
I want that to happen just so that we
No,
can
but
say
like you
that.
said, dude, Samuel L. Jackson's in there. so.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Samuel Jackson. It can't be bad.
Is Samuel L. Jackson playing? Yes.
Oh, sorry. Keep going.
Oh, I was gonna say, who's Samuel L. Jackson playing? Is he playing the Goto character? Is he playing the
I don't
bad
know,
guy
it's-
character?
Playing the bad guy.
Is he?
I think so.
You'd have to play the bad guy,
Chat,
wouldn't he?
chat. Do you know? Do you know Chats?
He's playing Nick Fury, guys.
He's just playing.
Nick
Yeah.
Fury.
He just shows up.
He just walks in. It's just like,
We need you for the Avengers.
Yeah.
For the Avengers.
Goto's like
Goto's
like
he
stares
just
at him.
takes
like,
a smoke.
his big nose from like a weird angle. Just like.
It's just gonna play everybody. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, anybody have, we're about 10 minutes over time, but I just wanted to see if anybody's got any last thoughts on Old Boy before we kind of
I just
wrap
want
it up.
to. I just want to mention a very awesome scene from the movie.
Uh-huh.
It's a very corny scene. Actually, it's kind of stupid, but still pretty awesome to me. It was the scene
The
where
sex
he
scene.
just enters the bad
The
guy's
sex scene.
apartment or whatever, and the guy's like sick him, you know, to take him down, and he takes a toothbrush, he breaks it in half, and he kills those two guys with one toothbrush.
Yeah!
That was like
That was
I was
really
just
cool.
like, this guy is just badass.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That's
that was
insane.
pretty great.
That reminds me, just really quick, that there was something I wanted to say and I completely forgot to say when we were talking about the bad guy. There was a moment where I felt so much sympathy for him, and I actually was like, my heart broke a little for him when he is doing the push-ups after he's killed the best friend, and he's like,
Yeah.
his best friend was calling his sister a slut, and after he killed them, and he was in his apartment doing the push-ups, and like he cried like the single tear. I was like,
Yeah.
what happened
Yeah,
to you?
man.
And then I was like, you're stupid. A little bit later, I was like, you're dumb. So, but I just wanted to say there was a moment where I felt, there was like a 20-minute time span of that movie where I felt a lot of sympathy for the characters, and I really liked the movie, and then it was just like blog.
And then it just left.
And then it was like a this.
What would you guys rate the movie and the manga? You guys, I don't know if that's a hard question.
Move.
I'd probably rate the movie like a 6 or a 7. Cat.
yeah. I'd probably.
Oh no, Dazzle.
Oh
just
no!
lagged.
Did we lose him?
Dazzle, we lost you. He just didn't want to give his rating.
Yeah.
No, I can hear you guys. Can't
Oh,
you
now
hear
you're
me?
Oh,
back.
yeah, now
Okay,
we
you're
hear
back.
you. Now
Your
we-
screen is frozen. Oh, you're back!
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, I'll rate the manga higher than the film. I'd rate the manga probably about a 6, and probably the film about a 5. Just
That's pretty low.
so, a bit
no.
better than the film, personally.
Oh.
I
Oh,
can't
But I still enjoyed the movie probably a lot better.
oh, Dazzle, you're lagging again.
Dazzle.
I'm just gonna.
No!
Oh no! Dazzle!
Your face.
Did we lose him
Oh,
again?
I love you. I'm so sorry. Dazzle, are you okay? Nothing's happening. You're not getting abducted and sent to 7.5, are you? You okay?
Oh no!
Aw.
Hold
Well,
on.
we'll wait for him to come back. Yokorama? No, he's back!
We just hear like Grim like help.
Help me!
I,
Oh god,
You sound like a
Dazzle!
robot.
You are a robot.
This is so sad. Oh.
Should we like
This is
Yokorama,
so
one of
romantic.
us give our rating and then,
Yokorama, yeah, you give your rating, and then we'll announce what we're reading next week.
All right, I'll give you my rating. I do agree with Daza that I enjoy the manga more than the movie, and I didn't think I would do that because overall I did like the manga, except like I said the last couple volumes were the greatest, but I did enjoy the manga. Overall, if you're looking at it as a whole series, I'd probably give it like an 8 out of 10 actually.
Oh,
it was pretty
really?
cool. It was I like the concept. I like the psychological part of it and everything. So it was pretty cool, and I did like Goto as a character most of the time, and
Yeah.
it was pretty interesting. And for the movie, last time I watched it, I think I gave it like an 8, but I'd probably have to give it like a 7 now. It went down a little bit, but it was enjoyable. It wasn't like the greatest movie, but it was enjoyable. I had a lot of enjoyment out of it because of all these like ridiculous scenes, these fight scenes, the characters, like his reactions to the world when he came out of the prison after 15 years. I thought that was really well done. So,
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Sorry. I'm responding to
7 and 8.
7 and 8. That's higher than I'm going to rate it. I'd say that I definitely enjoyed the manga more than I enjoyed the movie, but I didn't enjoy either, really. So, I think, oh no, hang on, let me see if I can add Daza back to this call.
Yeah, try to.
Oh, Daza? Daza?
Busy.
He didn't pick
He
up.
is way too busy for us, guys.
What the balls, Daza? Jeez!
Just keep trying to call him. When his
Dang
picture
it.
disappears, just try again.
Okay, guys.
Give
oh,
your
I
rating,
did that
Erin.
all wrong. Oh no. Hang
What?
on. Oh, I did this wrong. Oh god. Okay, I figured it out. Hang on. My rating. Okay, for the movie, I'm gonna give it a 6, just because I really didn't enjoy it that much. But I can admit that it was a really good movie overall. It was just not my kind of movie, in that the cinematography was amazing, the acting was really good, but I did not connect with the plot at all. And it took me a really long time to finish it, and I just didn't really see the impact that a lot of people saw from it.
Yeah.
But with the manga, like, I felt a little bit more invested in the characters, and so I think I'm gonna give the movie a 5.5, just because, or maybe a 6. I'll give it a 6 because I am gonna admit that, like, I can see how people would really enjoy it, but the manga, I think I'm gonna give a 6. So just because the manga is not one I would go back and read ever. Daza!
Woohoo!
So
I'm tethering.
Yeah, I agree
am
that
tethering my
the
phone.
manga has really low like rereading.
yeah,
Yes.
I don't think I will. I honestly don't think I'm ever gonna, like, I guess I won't say never ever, but at the moment I'm not going to go back and reread it. So I'm gonna say movie 5.5 to 6 and manga 6 to 6.5, because I
man.
don't like saying bad things about things people have put a lot of work into. But
Dude, okay. I'm gonna give the movie a 6 because I think that it was a movie that had all of the elements of a good movie, but for me they were put together poorly. And then
Yeah.
the manga I loved and was super invested in until the end. So I will go along with Yokorama and give it an 8.
Okay.
High five.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Get.
Dazza,
Awesome.
we actually didn't hear your entire
Yeah,
breakdown
so-
of your scores, so...
Okay, let's do this again. And
Okay.
I can hear you guys greatly at the moment. It's fantastic.
Yay!
Thank goodness.
I would rate the manga a lot higher, probably about 6 or a 7, because the manga kept me engaged a lot more than what the film did. At some points, the film I was just like, I don't care about these characters. But the ending of the film was a lot better than the manga, so. But then again, I can't really rewatch both of them, or reread, because it's just there's no reread value. You know the twists.
Yeah.
You know that they slept with everyone. You know there's gonna be boobs here. There's gonna be butts here. There's probably the only chapters I'd reread at all because they're the enjoyable ones.
Read the boob chapters.
But I just
At least Dazza's honest,
can't-
guys.
Yeah, at least he's got that. He's
Hey,
being
I would
honest.
rewatch the sexies as well, but it's gonna be weird now. I can't rewatch them without being like they're related. It's weird. It's really weird. And there's,
Oh no, we're losing you again.
Robot.
Go into robot mode.
Robot mode.
Oh man. Well, let's wrap it up, guys.
Yeah. Let's wrap it up. Next week, Dodger, would you like to do the honors of announcing what we're going to be reading next week? Because you have an emotional connection to this, and I just want to say that it's a basketball manga, but
It is. Okay, so
Suspense.
obviously everybody, when we said we wanted to do a sports manga, everyone said, you should do Kuroko no Basket because that's like one that you guys mention all the time. But obviously we've all read it. Erin has read it maybe 20 times.
that's
And-
an underestimate.
So I was thinking to myself, actually this morning when Erin and I were at the gym, I was thinking, gosh, there was a basketball manga that I read in high school, the first 2 volumes of, and then stopped because the scanlators just stopped doing it. And I remembered loving it. I absolutely loved it, but I could not remember the name of it for the life of me. And I was like, it would be so cool if we could do a basketball manga anyway, just not Kuroko no Basket. So I went on this manhunt, and it turns out Yokorama suggested this one too anyway. So I was like, it was already on the list. I didn't know.
That's a good coincidence, actually. That's pretty.
I
Cool.
know, it was really
It was
funny.
so weird because I suggested it to Erin. It's called Isle, as in I''LL.
Yeah.
Generation Basket, and I remember it being great. The art style is fantastic, and it's only a little bit longer than Old Boy, so we can break it up into 2 again.
Yeah.
But that was so funny when I literally messaged Erin today. I was like, I found it. It's this one, and I linked her to it, and she opened it up, and she was like, we'll maybe suggest this one. That would be cool. I was like, yeah. And then maybe 15 minutes later, she goes, this was on Yokorama's list too.
I was like, well, this is perfect.
Yeah, no objections here.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yes,
If you
so-
the mangaka of that is actually the same mangaka that does Tagami Bachi, which if you've seen Tagami Bachi the anime, it's not that great, but the manga of it is really good.
Yep.
So I'm really happy because I saw it on the list. I'm just like, yep, I want that one.
Yeah, it has amazing.
And then Erin was just like, Dodger liked this one, so let's do you want to do this one? I'm just like, yes, if I do.
How
I
many
just
are we
not good
getting?
at connecting with everyone.
There are not that many chapters in each volume. They're pretty short volumes. So is it not?
we
And
broke-
it's 14 volumes altogether. I think we should
Yeah.
just do 7 volumes in episode.
Yeah.
There might be long chapters. That's alright.
Yeah,
got
I
time.
think
we don't
splitting it
like we
in
do anything
half.
else.
So we
Yeah,
might have
it was
Old
published
Boy.
in Shonen Jump monthly,
Yeah, I think so.
so
Yeah.
they're probably like 40-50 pages a chapter. But we got this.
We can do
We got
this, you guys.
Seven.
We're ramping up, guys. We're ramping
Yeah.
up. It's
We're just
fine.
going. We're just going quickly.
Don't worry. 1 week we're going to read all of One Piece.
One video.
And then we're gonna read all of Hajime no Ippo.
Yeah,
No, Aaron,
1,000
stop it.
plus chapters.
No! Dodger and I were on G-Chat today, and I sent her something, and she was like, "That's too long. We can't read that." And I was like, "You want long? you want Long Dodger? And then I just sent her Ajime no Ippo, and she's like, stop it, just stop it.
Yeah, over 1,000 chapters. It's
Yeah, it's
pretty insane.
ridiculous.
Around like 1008, something like that.
1004.
Crazy.
It's for Donkey Bonks.
And it's still
But
ongoing.
Yes, it is for Donkey Bonks.
So yes, I will leave the. I
Don't
will
we
tweet.
want?
Huh?
What?
What?
I was just being. I was just being putting innuendos out there. It's okay.
Oh, okay. I'm just happy that we're reading a manga that's probably gonna have sweaty boys and balls. It's gonna be great.
Right?
I'm excited.
Wow.
Don't we
True.
love them sweaty boys.
Oh.
Them
Boys.
sweats.
all
Touching
dem-
balls.
You're
All
getting
them
me
balls.
really excited to read the manga now.
Yokorama, you look so like just worn. Your hair is like mused, and you're like,
I don't know what's up with my hair.
It's gonna be good.
No,
It's gonna be so good.
so it's gonna be
Uh.
great, you guys. It's gonna be cool.
Yes. Let's do it. Aisle
And-
Generation
Yes.
Basket.
Perfect. I will tweet
Go read
it
it.
after. I will tweet it after we are done with this. So that is what we were reading. Are we gonna read the first half? Is that what we're doing?
Yeah,
I missed
first 7
that.
volumes.
Okay, first 7 volumes. So
Apparently that's the first 35 chapters as well.
85?
First chap.
85
What?
chapters?
35.
Oh,
35.
sorry.
First
That's not
85.
true.
I was
So-
like,
Yeah,
we should-
no, I'm not gonna be able to fix my bangs, so this
I
is
know.
how it's gonna be.
I messed up my hats, so that's a thing. But do we want to? How about we link our stuff really quick, and then we will sign off. Oh, jeez, I just
Kitty.
unplugged my
Kitty.
headphones. Okay, I'm better. Kitty. Dodger, do you want to plug your stuff, pretty girl?
Stop.
So I have a gaming channel. I know, Sherlock, you're intrigued. I have a gaming channel called Press Heart to Continue, where I do gaming news and I do gameplay, and sometimes you see Sherlock Cat. I also have youtube.com/dexterity bonus, where I do daily vlogs and a DIY every Sunday. What, do you want to leave? Because you've been all up in my business this whole podcast.
Mom.
He's like, I'm hungry. Why am I not eating?
Food, Mom.
Yeah, and my Twitter is at DexBonus. So come hang out and follow me if you want to see tweets that make no sense. Love this guy.
Love me. Awesome. Yokorama, good sir.
Yeah, you guys can find me on Yokorama Game Talk, which again, I don't talk about games. Talk about anime.
Love that.
It's a trick. It's a trap, guys. But yeah, I do anime videos, chapter reviews,
It's a
anime
trap.
reviews, anything that really catches my interest about anime, I talk about. I have another channel, Yokorama News, where I do episode reviews of like seasonal series and also any
he
news
doesn't-
that really I think about that catch my attention. And also you can find me
Ooh.
on Twitter, Yokorama Talks, because I talk on there. And see what I did there? But yeah, you guys can find me there.
It's
where
the only thing that's actually legitimate.
the only thing that
Everything
actually
else
makes
is wrong.
sense.
Everything else is wrong.
Yeah, so if you guys would have followed me today, you guys would have seen me freaking out about Old Boy. So
Yes, which was the best stream of tweets. It made me laugh really
yeah,
hard.
guys, check me out.
Awesome. Dazza, Mr. Dazza.
Dazza?
Dr.
Dazza?
Are you just really confused or are
Dazza?
you frozen? Oh, good. Okay. Your turn. Can you
I
hear
don't
me?
think he can hear you.
Dazza!
But okay, if you can hear me, I have a channel called Blind where I do anime reviews, and I have a second channel where I do anime news and reaction videos, and a third one that I do video games. And there's going to be a lot more video games coming out in the future. And I'll have a Twitter called Dr. Dazza, which I post on a lot. And you can talk to me. I always respond back. I always respond back on Twitter. So
He is. He's very good at that. It's awesome. Good for you. Awesome. I will also leave annotations when this VOD goes up on my channel. I'll leave annotations to all these pretty people's channels and to their Twitters. You can find me at HappiLeeErin, youtube.com/HappiLeeErin. I do anime reviews and first impressions and also upload the VOD of MangaPod there. Usually goes up right after, about an hour or so after we're done. because Twitch is awesome like that, and it works out really well. And I have a Twitter, which is HappiLeeErin. I'm HappiLeeErin all over the place, so you can follow me on there. I talk about anime and food and otters, basically. It's about
Otters.
a lot of croak and a basque, so that's a thing. But yes, you can find all of us on our respective stuffs. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Sorry about all the lag and the audio and
All the robots.
stuff,
I think they're used to it by now.
I know. I hope you guys are used to this. Dazzy, you look so
It'll be
good.
better next week, guys. It'll be better next
We
week.
try. It doesn't work. Next week we'll be reading Isle
Pray to
Generation.
Magic Tammy.
What?
Pray to Magic Tammy next week.
I still can't hear what you're saying. Dazzy, we love you.
I give up. I give up.
We love you so much. You'll be better next week. It'll be okay.
It'll be okay.
So next week we'll be reading Isle Generation Basketball, which is a sports manga, and the week after I think we're going to try and read a comedy. So if you guys have any that you would like to suggest, go ahead and tweet those at us or use the hashtag MangaPod. Otherwise, we will be here next week at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we will talk to you guys then. Bye-bye! Bye-bye! Thank you so much for watching. Mwah!